Hello, my friends. I'm so happy because it is Olympic week and I love watching Olympics. I think my favorite sport is probably women's gymnastics. It's really cool, but I used to do rowing, so I really like to watch the rowing as well. So today we are making an Olympic torch in a jar. So the ingredients you're going to need for this steam activity is some vegetable oil, something to mix things in, a fork for stirring. It helps if you have something to measure a tablespoon with, but you don't need one. A jar for your Olympic torch in a jar, some food coloring, and a bit of warm water. That's it. So we are going to get started by pouring 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil into your mixing cup. So we are taking our vegetable oil and we are pouring 4 tablespoons. It doesn't have to be exactly 4 tablespoons. You can just pour out a good amount if you want, but why not practice measuring? All right, so we have 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil right there. I'm gonna put the lid back on the vegetable oil and set it aside. We're not going to need that. Got a little bit of oil on my hands, so I'm just going to give it a quick wipe up. Next, you are going to take your food coloring. You can get out all of your colors there, and we are going to make our colors for our Olympic torch. So you can pick out as many colors as you want. And you're going to put 2 drops of each color into the container with the oil. So I'm going to put 2 drops of red, 2 drops of this neon red pink color, and just for fun, let's add 2 drops of this purple. And you know what? I think I'm going to add 1 more drop of the red, just because I want to make sure that my torch is red, because it's fire. There we go. Want to make sure those are all nice and sealed up, because you don't really want to drop food dye everywhere, because it can kind of stain things. So, next, you've got your fork, and stir up your container. It's not going to stir super well because oil doesn't like to dissolve things in it. But that's okay. Just stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. And you'll wind up with something like this. It looks kind of dirty, but I promise it isn't. Next, we're going to take our jar, and you're going to fill it about 3/4 of the way full with water. You're going to grab your oil mixture and pour it on top. Going to add the lid back on. Now you'll see that the oil doesn't like to mix with the water. It just sits on top. But the food coloring also doesn't like to mix with the oil. So over time, the food coloring is going to sink down and start to mix in with the water. I'm going to let this sit for a little while and I'll come back once it's started to mix in. All right, it's been a couple of minutes and you can see that the red is starting to float down and make these colors. But I think this will get even more colorful if we just wait a little while longer. So let's wait probably 5 minutes and see what it looks like. All right, friends, I let our Olympic torch sit for just a while longer, and you can see here, it's super colorful. So here we have the yellow that might be the inside of the flame, and down here we have the nice red color. And we have some areas where it's even darker. And that can happen with the Olympic torch. Fire can come in lots of different colors depending on how hot it is. If the fire is super hot, it can actually even turn blue. But why do you think this is happening? Why isn't it mixing in? Well, oil is less dense than water, which kind of means that it doesn't weigh as much as water does. So it floats on top of the water. Just like your ice cubes. Ice cubes are less dense than water, so they float on the top of your drink. So we've got our oil here that's less dense than water, so it's staying up here. It does not mix in. But our food coloring weighs more than the oil does. So even though it was mixed in with the oil at the start, it's sinking down and hitting the water. And when it hits the water, it starts to dissolve. And you can see that there. It's dissolving into the different colors. Now, just for fun, I kind of want to give my jar a shake and see what it looks like. Now, I've got my lid screwed on tight. Make sure you do that if you're going to shake, because you don't want this exploding. Let's shake it. So, if you can see here, it's kind of mixed in. But if you look really closely, you'll see it's kind of got these oil bubbles. And slowly, after we've mixed it, the oil and the water start separating again, with the food coloring starting to sink again. That's our STEAM activity for this week. I hope you had an awesome time. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.